I'm just looking at Geelong as they're about to bounce the ball. I'm looking at Geelong and Zach Smith, Charlie Constable, Lockie Fogarty, and Scott Selwood.
Yeah, that's a fairly impressive group of players.
It's sort of an AFL sort of setup, isn't it?
It is indeed. Now, Barnes, you might just do me a favour. You wouldn't mind that stuff that's sitting on the table over there. You just might chuck it in the box so it doesn't blow away. That'd be great. And I'll start the game. What do you reckon? Does that sound like a fair deal?
Well, I see Dusty Martin hovering around over there before.
Yeah,
So
we had Jack Rewald here as well. We've had Neil Baum, the whole thing. It's all happening here. So Chol taps the ball down and ends up in the hands of his teammate there, who's immediately hugged. And umpire will come in and we'll do it all again because he said, Barnes, he's not ready. Let's go again, we said.
yeah, I reckon Scott Selwood will have huge numbers in the tackling stats today.
Well, he's got a huge shove in the back that time. Umpire said play on and ball will be bounced the third time by the looks of it. Oh, sorry, we'll get you back on that microphone instead. There you go.
Yeah, Chris Scott was in deep conversation with Nigel Lappin at the huddle as well, chatting about things. And Zach Smith's been quite impressive so far. I think he played quite well last week in the AFL. Selwood's kick forward goes only as far as Egglesy Smith, who's been excellent so far today, cleaning things up at half back. He finds a teammate on the outer side, so Richmond looking to go forward again.
So it's out. So you go, keep going.
That's gone out of the back and out of bounds.
Yeah, every time Egglesy Smith gets the footy, Barnes, he's always looking laterally, and I really like the way he's gone about his footy today.
Yeah, he looks good with that left foot, hitting out short targets. As the ball's up, thrown in again, very towards the centre today. Interesting throw in. Smith was all by himself, and I think we're going to have to do that again. Got a real hook on that one.
There was a bit of a hook action on that one, and he'll take two and see if he can do a little bit better this time.
Last quarter, the throw-ins favoured Geelong's end, which is to the right of your iPhone, and this time they favour Geelong's end again, which is to the left of your iPhone. So
you can't blame the breeze.
Yeah, helping out the Cats as Parsons gets the kick away from the stoppage. See if they can close off those seconds, as I said. Not this time. Richmond get the ball back towards Red. Oh, Chummy over the top.
Good mark.
Beautiful mark. I think that's Griller. Great grab over the top, and he's switching play. So Richmond out the far side now. Menadju has it. Looks inside 50, chipping ball towards the pockets. Not great. Coming across, well read. In the end there by Kruger. That's another intercept mark for him. He's starting to back them up, Sean.
Yeah, he's looking more comfortable across half back. When he first went back there a few weeks ago, he was all at sea, but obviously he's adjusted his game to playing down back and looks much better.
Tucker up a mile, but didn't get the ball. Ball didn't get there in time. Buse just took it and took the tackle, so the ball spills out the back. Hand passed forward that time. It might have been McLaughlin. No, it wasn't. It was Kennelly. Ball kicked to the top of the square though by the Tigers. All up, none down. Ball hits the ground. It's Zach Guthrie in good position, but he jumps on his Richmond opponent. Ball spills out the back. Smith bent down and picked it up and spun in and spun out. And umpire's going to say, oh, he didn't get a prior opportunity. But gee, I tell you what, it's a long, long way from having your hands up at the height that Zach Smith's hands are down to the ground to pick that ball up. He did remarkable.
Hero weathered like a ballet dancer, didn't he?
The pick up and spin all in one was marvellous.
Outstanding work.
So Richmond trying to find a little bit of space. Bolton can't get the handle on it. Cutting Neal as the ball comes out towards McLaughlin, who's tackled right on the 50-metre arc.
Another one of those ridiculous statements that commentators like to make. Can't find the handle. Ball right on the 50-metre zone as the umpire prepares to ball it up. Yeah, it's you and you. Yep, it's like the under-10s. Ball tapped down this time by Smith. He's playing in the ruck position today. And the Geelong player in there, Kennelly, can't get away. And the umpire says, we'll do it all again. It's not quite what it was at Bulldogs Land last week. But, gee, I tell you what, we get a lot of bounces and stoppages, aren't we?
Yeah, most definitely. It hasn't just broken open yet, the game, but I'm sure it will at some point.
Weller read the tap down really well, but couldn't control the ball before it rolls out of bounds in front of he and Kennelly. We've played 3 minutes into the third quarter, and the scores are as they were at quarter time. 2 goals, 2-14. Richmond, Geelong, 1-4-10. Ball tossed in front of the David Mandy building. That's the main building here at Punt Road. Good punch down by Chol. Gets it over the back. Hand pass ends up with Brewer, but he couldn't control it. Kick forward this time by the Cats, but it's coming back. Mark taken by Collier Dawkins. And he gets the ball and puts it inside 50 and finds his teammate out on the wing, half forward flank, and that is Turner.
Pretty shallow entry there to Turner.
Yeah.
Yep,
And very wide too.
Very wide.
Limited their opportunities. You're going to have a shot or else put it to the top of the square. But I know saying that stoppage, Richmond had 2 loose defenders that time. Brownless, that kick either had to go towards the boundary or just get it longer because that was always going to return. Kelly Dawkins in good position. So Turner stepping towards 50. He seems pretty confident about it. Got a nice little melee flowing as well, so he kicks from the paint. It's online, it looks good, and it's there. Beautiful kick from Turner, and he gets the score on the way in the second quarter. He looked very confident going back, and he kicked just as confidently. Richmond 3 goals, 2-20, Geelong 1 goal, 4-10. We played 4.5 minutes on the Newcombe Sand and Soil scoreboard. Sean, beautiful kick.
Yeah, once again, just having confidence in his own ability. He didn't overkick the footy, Barnesy. He just went through it. If it was playing golf, it was just a nice, easy swing and follow through. And he
Nice 7-iron.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well done to the young man.
So the ball coming back to the centre. It's the Tigers just starting to break away a little. 3-2-20. Geelong 1-4-10. Same number of kicking, the same number of shots, of course, Barnesy.
Yes.
That, of course, would be bad football, wouldn't it?
It would be.
But
if it was bad kicking.
So, I mean, the Tigers have had 2 of their 3 goals have come from pretty much straight in front, whereas the Cats have sort of mucked around with it a bit in the forward line, and they haven't had the easiest shot. So maybe a little bit more direct would be the direction. Smith in the centre up against Chol. Smith gets his hands on it first and again, so ball comes over the back, but this time coming the other way. It might have been Markov. Gets the ball. I tell you what, it wasn't. In fact, it was Broad, I think. Ball comes inside 50. Coming out the other way. Couldn't control the ball. The Cats player, Kruger, and umpire says he was tripped as he got it, and it'll be Kruger with Brewer on the mark. That is an awful kick, almost cut off by that. Brewer comes in to pick it up. Kruger tried to make amends. Going in hard that time is Arts. And it's going to be a ball up, I suspect, if it doesn't come out quickly. No, it has come out quickly. No, it hasn't come out. It's gone back in again. Umpire's going to ball it up, surely.
I think he must have lost his whistle there for a bit.
He did,
Put it away, that's for sure.
Nothing worse than losing your pee out of your whistle.
Let's hope Nathan Kruger, next time he wins the footy, has the capacity to go back and try and kick the footy short again. Don't let that scare him. He made a mistake, but go back and try your craft again, young fella.
It certainly wasn't the wrong option. He just kicked it poorly.
Yeah.
As Foggy gets an inside-out barrel off his left foot, and it might work. It gets through to Fort, does well to step through traffic. Here comes McCarthy on the left foot, is good towards Simpson. Loses his footing though, so he's going to get back up. He's got a man in the middle. Parsons is calling for it.
Oh.
Simpson's missed Fogarty though. It's a poor kick. Fogarty's going to have to chase this up and go hard at it. The Chol got in the way and did well. Quick hands back was excellent. So poor turnover there from Geelong. The ball kicked forward. Kruger's going to have to get across to this one. Oh, lands in the hands of Ockenbaugh. Doesn't really know what to do with it yet, but Reid gets the ball and nice little chipping ball out, finds Brownless.
I tell you what, often when you see brothers play, even in the way they run, Curtis McCarthy doesn't look anything like Lincoln, does he? Doesn't look anything like his shape. He looks more like a Guthrie, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Than he does a McCarthy.
He looks like an amalgamation between Guthrie and Kennelly at the moment to me. So ball's kicked forward, ball. It's going to be the first one on this. He's all by himself. Handball's back towards Beasley. Shares it again. Broad looking to find his way out of defence.
Good
Buzzer
chase
doing
by
good
Buzzer,
pressure though.
yeah.
But the chipping ball is good from Broad. Smith couldn't close down his man, so Richmond final little release.
Yeah, Richmond with that +1 behind the footy, Barnes, he's causing a bit of a headache for the Cats. They're picking them off in defence.
Yep, I'll be interested to see how long they persist with that. As I said, they're pretty happy with it in the huddle. It's been a problem with them for most of the year. The ball's kicked down the line. Guthrie went over the top. Ockenboy at ground level. Good hands out towards Buse. Turns on to his right and kicks the ball high towards the pocket. Getting over there is Fort. He's in a good position here, Fort. Almost marked it. The ball hits the ground and dives in after it. The umpire's going to have to come in and bounce this one up. Right in the forward pocket. Almost on that centre circle that is nowhere near the centre. Unless do a bit of training on it down here at Punt Road. We're going to have a ball at 20 metres out from Geelong's goal.
So they are kicking to the Punt Road end. They are currently trailing Richmond by 10 points. Richmond 20, Geelong 10. Tapped down by Smith, goes out towards the boundary and it will find its way there and it will be thrown in. You know what's really funny? That microphone over there which we're using for effects, everyone thinks is switched on and it's not. So they've all been sitting there being really quiet and well behaved and they can actually let rip and no one knows. We can't work out what's not working. We're blaming you. So a bit of a laugh up here on the balcony. We've got a veritable who's who. That's a free kick.
Buzz.
Yeah, I think it might have been free kick to
Broad. There's a bit of a
Broad.
box on.
Yeah, a bit of how's your father and. So it's been really quite funny watching them. So the ball comes in the back pocket and that's Egg Malesi Smith. He is wondering what to do with it. I've got an idea. Kick it. And he does. And he kicks the ball down and finds Simpson.
Don't think that was the right idea, Neil, as the Simpson marks.
I think he was looking for Manor, but again, missed the shot by some distance.
So Simpson goes long. He had Fogarty short. He didn't go there. Or reaching over Smith. Probably could have marked that. Had 2 hands on it. Schlentog might have got in his way a little bit. A good tackle. Again, inside that forward 50, going to bounce a little bit closer to Geelong's goal than last time. Directly out in front, 20 metres away. See if Geelong can get some movement through this stoppage. Smith will win the tap out. Chaps it really to nowhere. And we're going to have another ball up here. I suspect there's a lot of numbers on this footy.
I think what he was trying to do was tap it to his own advantage, but it didn't come up.
Yeah, well, the bounce was almost perfectly for him to just grab it and get it on the boot, but he
maybe forgotten about that new rule. Maybe this time Smith taps the ball down, ball falls at his feet. Beasley can't control it, running the other way. Simpson might have got one high. Umpire said no, he didn't. So the ball kicked forward. He said, "You're a Geelong player. You've probably done that drop your knee thing." So
the Selwood duck.
That's it. And coming the other way, good solid attack on the ball by Bolton and by Kruger. Ball ends up out of bounds. And watch this. Watch this in front of us here. There is going to be 233 interchanges. Look at them. They're all lined up ready. Look. Looks like Flinders Street Station down here. So the ball about to be tossed back in. It's spinning in. Child in good position. Taps the ball to the front. Picked up this time by Weller. He threw it away. Umpire said he got hold of him, holding the man. Might have been lucky.
Yeah, a bit tough on Brownless there, I think. And Weller threw it away. And I don't think he held on to him overly long after that throw, but Weller's got the free kick anyway.
He's
Good-looking man.
numbers
Get rid of
too.
that beard, I think.
Well, he's up to about 10 possessions.
Hooks it into the middle. I'm not sure he really meant that. Schlegg's on a good position here. Cuts at the fall of the ball. McLaughlin steps into traffic. Stepping out of traffic beautifully was Capron. Great spin. Simpson, can he find a target? Looking towards Smith, didn't find the target. Beasley chops it off beautifully.
There's that intercept marker we talked about earlier. So he gets the ball and brings it out to his teammate. It might have been Broad running down that side of the ground. Finds his teammate out on the wing. Running in towards 50. It's a one-on-one and good punch that time by the Cats defence. Coming the other way was a Richmond player who caught one high. And I reckon that might be Arts. Let's put his head back on and we'll find out. It's either Arts or, it's Arts, I think. And the ball about to be passed back to him now. Yes, it is. Jake Arts. Former bomber, as I remember, played a bit of footy out at Essendon in his time, and now going back to have a shot at goal. He is about 40 metres out from goal, directly in front, kicking to the Brunton Avenue, South Yarra, or in fact, Government House end of the ground.
Yeah, well, the stats are saying he's only had 2 touches, Arts. I thought we might have called him more than that, but yeah, he's going to have a shot on goal from about. And once again, a beautiful, nice, easy kicking style. He didn't try and overkick the footy, and he's hit a bit of woodwork, Barnesy. So a little bit stiff there, but I've been really impressed with the Tigers' set shots at goal. They haven't overkicked the footy. They've been really composed and very relaxed on their kicking.
Yes, but unfortunately that one slammed into the woodwork. So 3-3-21, Richmond leading Geelong 1-4-10 now. We've played 11 minutes on the Newcombe Sand and Soil scoreboard as getting out of the defensive 50 this one's marked by Tarka. He's hooking the ball down the line towards Buzzer. Good body work, but it was slapped away. Broad's going to pick it up and keep it in.
Not anymore, he's not. It's a try.
He's tackled out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
I tell you what,
the gates.
next time that player has a shot to that end of the ground, you know which end we're going to call it?
No.
The Arts Centre.
Ah, I like it.
The Arts Centre end. See, I've been working on that. That's why I haven't been saying anything. I've been writing a few notes. So look at the direction the umpire's facing. He's actually spun around to toss that in. It's going. That's why he's not going straight in. So the ball picked up by Brewer. He's quickly tackled, and that looks like Cheetahs who's tackling him. The umpire will come in and throw it up.
He's a solid unit, Brewer, isn't he?
Yeah. Half forward flanker, half back flanker kind of player. Got good strength through the core.
And he hit Selwood very strongly in that contest and put him on his bum. But the players will dive on each other again. We'll have another ball up.
We apologise for the vulgarity of the language being used by Josh Barnes in describing
I had a few running through my head there. Probably should have gone with rear as opposed to tap down.
Awesome.
Constable, good handball to Brownless. His kick off the boot is towards the contest. Fort's going to have to do well. He does. Makes the contest.
Oh, that might have been a throw.
Richmond trying to pick it up. It's slapped around their defensive 50. Dragged the ball in there, Brownless. He could be in trouble, but the umpire didn't see it. It was around the wrong side.
And there was 230 people standing around it at the time.
And luckily for him, the umpire couldn't hear us. So we'll have a ball up 60 metres out from Geelong's goal. Abbott, as customary, does that long run up and taps the ball forward. It's all Richmond at the fall of the ball. They've got plenty of numbers behind the ball at the moment. It's causing Geelong stress. Ball's kicked down. Strong mark there by Arts, and he can play on. Got a man inside 50. Kick sort of on his head, so Kruger will come and missed it out of bounds.
Well
Great
done.
touch.
With that 2-footer jump, he got some elevation, didn't he?
Was it you that said before no one ever punches the ball away from a marking contest anymore?
Yeah, I think I did.
And he had to get a good fist on it because there was a Richmond player running on that side. He could have grabbed it and run into the goals. Really strong punch. Been impressive, Kruger. We're going to have a throw in. We're 40 metres around from the Richmond goal. Abbott, 2 hands down. Selwood diving in after it. He's tackled high.
It's unusual to call
Selwood get taken high?
Yeah, how did that work? Yeah.
Go figure.
14 minutes played, second quarter. It is the Newcombe Sand and Soil Supplies scoreboard, and it is the Cats by 11 points. they've scored this quarter, but the Cats haven't yet. So it's Selwood with the ball, gets it off now to his teammate, coming through and finding Capron. He's got a player out wide, and that player out there might be Tarka, is it?
It is, yes.
Tarka gets the ball and kicks it and finds...
Oh, spoiled.
Buzzer might have had his arms chopped. Umpire said that's okay, play on. Should have marked the ball, didn't. Ball comes out. This time it's picked up by Simpson. We'd recognise those socks anyway. Anyway, gets it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin slips, gets it on his boot, he thought. But that's your knee, fella, not your boot. And free kick going to the Tigers. Just slipped in the wet out there. It's very, very wet out on that ground at the moment.
Yeah, the wheels were spinning a bit there, weren't
they? Yeah.
We didn't have a great view from here, but I'm not sure if Coppard actually laid a tackle there. But it was dropped anyway. This ball comes down towards Selwood. And he throws it out with one hand. Just trying to get through there with Brownless so we can have another ball up.
Difficult to hand pass when you've got one arm pinned, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, the tackling pressure from both teams here, guys, has been amazing. It's really hard to get an easy kick out there.
So in front position was Coates. Touchdown, Constables spun around, and we'll have another ball up.
With thanks to Sean Simpson, here's the wine bunker. With thanks to the wine bunker, Sean Simpson, what do the Cats need to do to break it open?
Yeah, I think they've just got to, obviously Charlie Constable here's got the footy at the moment, but they've just got to win at the stoppage and get some spread from the stoppage. I think, Neil, is the problem at the moment. They're just not quite spreading enough.
Yep.
Bolton shakes his hips and gets away from the contest. Takes 2 bounces at half speed, so he revs it up. Handball over the top. Looking inside 50 now is Street. Oh, almost marked out of it, couldn't quite grab it. Coming through quickly was Arts, he couldn't pick it up. Comes back a second time, Buse has him.
I'll tell you what, since Sean called him out and said Arts had hardly touched the ball, he's touched about 20 times.
Yeah, he's been good actually.
And solid
even,
this quarter.
Street then, I love the way he directed the forward. He kicked the footy to space and made the forward come at the footy then on that point. So that was really good inside 50.
Well, it's up for the pocket, just misses to the near side.
Makes it the 2-goal even break, though. 3-4-22, the Tigers. Geelong 1-4-10, 16 minutes played second quarter. In 5.5 quarters of football, Geelong have kicked 6 goals, 9. It's not particularly good, strong scoring at the moment by the Cats after last week's 5-5 in a full game.
And aside from that buzzer mishap 2 minutes ago, they haven't really looked like scoring so far this quarter.
Well, neither have really, have they? I mean, Richmond have had a couple of shots, but it hasn't been strong activity. Good mark buzzer, half-back flank. He's looking for a kick. But now he's got no one to kick it to because everybody is covered. Comes out to Brownless.
He's had a good 5 minutes, Brownless.
Yep,
he has, hasn't he?
Getting plenty of the ball.
Yep. I'll tell you what, if he and his dad
misses Brownless, they're in trouble here, Geelong. They're getting closed in. Brownless again tackled and he'll take that out. That's probably a good result given that. Another poor disposal by Constable. Really needs to clean it up. And we'll have a throw in right in front of us.
Yeah. Brownless is absolutely shot. Get off. He's had enough. He just needs a breather.
The Cats' short kicking game has let them down at the minute. They've just been missing targets, Barnesy, which is disappointing.
Constable better this time, finds Parsons to Reed. His spearing ball wasn't too crash hot. Capron's going to come in and make a contest of it.
Good work by Fletcher to get his hand in there.
He was tackled without it. The umpire almost blew the whistle, and again the Geelong player thrown out without it, but they've got the spill at the ball here. McLaughlin chipping ball. Did that bounce before it got to him?
No.
The umpire says no, so Buzzer's going to line him up. 40 metres out.
I think by the resignation of the Richmond players, I suspect no, it hadn't.
Big Buzzard like his chances from here, boys. I think he's going to kick from a 45-degree angle, about 45 out by the time it hits his boot, and he's on the right side for a left footer.
I was going to say correct side for a left footer. So he's coming in. He's walking parallel to punt road, if that helps. Comes in, kicks a goal. What a great kicking style he's got when he gets onto it properly.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude too. I was speaking to him before the game and he's just got a real good attitude to footy. He was very excited about the team's win last night, so not being selfish about, why don't I get in the game and whatnot. So very team orientated, so a good young man.
And Rob Cameron talked to him last week. At one stage he came off the ground, Rob said, and he was looking a bit down the dumps. And I can't remember who it was he sat down and chatted to for a couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden he said he came back out and he's up and about, and he said he's a really good barometer for what's going on in the team. So it brings the Cats back to 1 goal behind, 2 goals, 4-16 Geelong, Richmond 3-4-22. That is on the Newcombe Sand and Soil Supplies. Try saying that after a few drinks. Newcombe Sand and Soil Supplies scoreboard, 18.5 minutes played second quarter from Punt Road. This is GoFooty.live. You can even get us on Alexa now. Just say to Alexa, make sure you enable the skill first, but just say to Alexa, Alexa, play GoRadio.live and just listen to us pouring out of your speakers.
Smith tries to reach over, the ball comes in, Selwood dives in after it. shovels the ball out. Simpson trying to create some room. Swings onto the left towards centre forward. Buzzer comes in hard. Makes a big contest of it. McLaughlin picks it up. He's tracked down. Threw the ball back towards Buzzer.
No, he's very small, but that's what you want from Buzzer, just to make a contest.
Did well towards Cheetahs now. Fogarty. Back to McLaughlin. He kept running. Onto the left. His shooting ball couldn't find McCarthy, but handball to him now, and he fumbles that out of bounds.
That was a great transition from Charlie Constable to work his way from the centre up to the forward pocket and be involved in that passage of play.
Yeah, good work from a few of the cases. Who am I trying to say? McLaughlin. He worked his way down there a few touches in a row, so really working with the footy.
They seem to be getting their game going a little bit at the moment, the Cats. They've just been struggling up until now, but they seem to be getting the ball with a bit more pressure on it.
Here's little Jacko again.
Yep, and Cheetahs tries to stab it from 50. It's a wobbly, floating ball. Brawl gets a fist to it. Everybody looks at the ball as it sits on the carpet. Gillespie Smith handballs it back into traffic. Reed grabs it and he's grabbed. Solid tackle there by Manager, and the umpire is going to come in and ball it up.
Did you see someone going past in the car? Go on your Tigers. One of the cars going past.
I like the way Zach Smith is set up behind the footy here, boys. He's a kick behind the place. He'll take some getting past, I reckon.
And that's that experience we were talking about before and why it's so important to a young side like this. Free kick, I think, might be going to Grew Up. Umpire says advantage paid, and it goes down to a 2-on-2. We've got Schlensog back there in the back line. Didn't see that. Ockenbaugh fell over. Umpire says play on. Now it's going to be a free kick to the Tigers, I think.
If they go quickly, they've got numbers over the back here, Richmond.
And that's Ballard. So Ballard looking and took too much time, I think.
He did.
And therefore
has to go short.
The option.
Turned it over.
Well read by Ockenbaugh.
That was well done. The first game, wasn't it? He read the ball off boot well.
There was a game in, there was a situation last night in the game where one of the Richmond players kicked it and the man on the mark marked it, and it was a mark. That's how far back he was.
Wow.
A 50-metre penalty here to Kennelly. A player interceded over the mark, and he's going to get inside range here.
Boundary umpires don't like when there's a 15-metre penalty. They've got to run that 50 metres at the same speed as the players.
So he's going to line up from 40 metres out. I think somebody infringed on the area, as they call it these days.
Silly rule, Barnesy, that I don't like.
Doesn't seem to have a lot of impact on the play when they do.
How's the run-up?
And it was only a short 50, wasn't it?
Yeah, but how's the run-up?
Well, Kennelly just stood where he was and said, I'm running in now. So he comes into 45 and kicks on the run. Got a good momentum behind it, but he's hooked it to the left. And it goes through for a behind.
I think you called that right. He had probably too big of a run-up for what he's used to.
Well, I think the man on the mark went 50 metres and he only went 25.
Yes.
Extraordinary. So it's now the Cats trailing by 5 points. 2-5-17, Richmond 3-4-22. We've played 22 minutes into the second quarter. That's brought to you by Newcombe Sand and Soil. Ball brought out and kicked off the ground. And umpire says, everyone says it was off his boot, it was off his boot. Umpire says, nah, just chuck it in. So it's on the slightly forward of the centre, half-forward flank for the Cats. It's about 70 metres around from their goal, so it's 2 kicks away. Lots of interchanging going on in front of us here. It's Smith against Chol. Chol takes it out of the ruck and gets it onto his boot, kicks it quickly forward. Ball spilling around. It's one of those chaos balls. Kick forward that time. It might have been by Roko. Would that have been him?
Ockenbaugh, that was.
Ockenbaugh, yeah. Because Roko, I don't think he's been playing.
I haven't seen him yet, no.
Yeah, no. So I think
he's on the team sheet, though.
Yeah, I think he's one of the ones that missed. Ball inside 50, punched forward. Cats looking for a goal to get the lead back. Simpson runs onto it, grabs it, goes around, kicks around the body, and there is a behind. I was leading up to a goal of the day nomination. Geelong 2-6-18, Richmond 3-4-22. It's a 4-point lead to the Tigers. We're 22.5 minutes into the second quarter with thanks to our friends at Newcombe Sand and Soil Supplies.
It's a beautiful pick-up and first step by Simpson to get the space. Just hooked his kick on goal though. So Weller now has had plenty of the ball. Kicks the ball down to the centre wing. Schlensog and Smith. Ockenbaugh had a big jump at it. Falls down to Brewer. Measures the kick over the top almost perfectly, but not quite. So that allowed Kennelly in, and he did the right thing and tapped the ball over the boundary line.
Really good play by Kennelly, wasn't it? Sean Simpson with thanks to the wine bunker.
Yeah, it was very good, and I thought our man Arts was going to get onto a loose ball there as they went
the
down
Arts centre
towards
end.
the Arts centre end. Yeah,
it was almost a perfect kick, but Kennelly just did enough to go in between the two men, tap the ball out of bounds, and save what probably would have been a goal for Richmond.
Yeah, it took on two. Yeah, it was really important that he left his man at the right time. So Smith in front, taps the ball down to Selwood. He couldn't find it, couldn't find the handle, in fact. Bolton onto the left boot, kicks it round the body, off hands into the post. It's the third time the post has been hit by Richmond.
It's been popular today.
It has, hasn't it?
Young Bolton there, he was right on line too if there hadn't have been a pesky defender there in the way.
Defenders are always the 3 goals, 5, Richmond 23, Geelong 2-6-18. It's a 5-point lead to the Tigers, 24 minutes played, and at quarter time it was a 4-point lead to the Tigers, so they've extended their lead by behind, and ball out of bounds over there in front of those marquees, which I'm assuming are selling food, and because the lads who put those ones up before they helped us. They're a couple of lads carrying around these blocks of concrete behind you. Strapping men. Ball tapped in. Smith takes it, drops it, and ends up in the hands of the Tigers. Selwood, good body strength, gets it off to Kennelly, but Menadue ends up with the ball, kicks it to Bolton, and Bolton just drops it inside 50 and finds the player in street.
Might be a nice little chore for someone to go and run with Shea Bolton just for 5 minutes, Barnesy, just to take his influence out of the game.
Yeah, he's certainly the player that looks most likely for Richmond. Just beautifully measured that kick. He was probably within his rights to blaze away at goal, but pulled it perfectly to Street, who's lining up from him. He'll kick from about 40 on that left boot that Sean loves so much. His kick is high and hooked to the left. So that's
almost
super
hit the
behind
post as well.
Yeah, he was trying to find the woodwork as well. But I think, who did we have on? Griffo, we had him on early. He's done a great job with his forwards. I've loved the way they've gone back and set shot at goal. I've just a beautiful, fluent kicking style, all the boys. So he's trained them well.
He has. Strong trying to find a way out of their defensive 50. Cheetahs has it. Kicks the ball long. Margin is 6 points. We played 25 minutes. Ball's punched out of bounds. That's thanks to Newcombe Sand and Soil. Richmond 3-6-24. Geelong 2-6-18.
Now, Barnesy, Wiley Buzzer has found himself out here on the wing on his own. I just don't know why he should stay out here, or he should just stay in space. He's the forward. A backman's got to come to him. The way the footy's changed, he's going to push into the congestion.
He is, but I think the theory is that his defender was still standing over there, so it's almost a wasted number if he's standing out here and the ball's not going to come to him, I think is probably the theory behind that. He was out this side for the kick-in, but it went in the opposite direction. We're going to have another ball.
Creative, Barnesy. Yeah. The ball's just too stagnant. You've got to just throw caution to the wind and get some space.
Yeah, I agree. And I would like to see, particularly Geelong's furthest back forward, to just stay a little bit deeper as well, to try and drag out those extra men as Broad comes across as that extra man and marks. Just makes it harder for them to know where to stand if you spread them out a little bit more. As Broad marks on centre wing just about. He'll try and kick the ball forward for Richmond. Try and do. He kicks the ball long, and that's going to go towards the boundary line. Smith will mark it anyway. It doesn't matter. Go in front of that Sivlaki truck.
All the numbers here for the switch, Barnesy, if he's got the confidence to do it, but I think he's going to go down the line.
The wrong man to have it probably for that occasion. Zach Smith kicks the ball back towards Broad. Fort comes up at it, makes a contest. Ball's punched down. Bolton tries to grab it. Fort jumps over the top, but it's slipped over towards Turner. It's good. And long shot at goal was an absolute spud. It's come off the inside step, and that's gone out of bounds.
Yeah, in that point, the Cats should be looking at, trying to spread the Richmond defenders. At the minute, they've been able to run off their man and support each other. And Nathan Broad's been instrumental across half back. So that's why I'd just like to see the Cats switch play a little bit more to try and, stretch the Richmond defence.
Yeah, they were set up that time, but Smith, as the ruckman, probably just did back himself in. Simpson grabs it and he's grabbed. We're going to have a ball up 20 metres out directly in front of the Richmond goal.
Simpson just looks like he's the sort of bloke that might actually get it and break the game open a bit. He's just getting it and just getting caught at that moment. If he gets it and gets away, I reckon he's going to free kick to Richmond.
What?
We're going to be a block against on Chol. It must have been against one of the smaller players because Smith is going up quite normally for the ruck. No, it's free kick not to Chol.
Must have been holding off the ball.
I think it's that man Arts,
I think it is Arts.
Kicking to the Arts centre end.
No, I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened there.
I think he must have been holding off the ball as he was trying to come through. And it is Arts, and he has missed as well.
Tell you what, he was only 20 metres out directly in front there, Arts. Should be kicking them. And for the second time, I've marked him down as a goal in my sheet.
I was wondering why you were keeping track of his behinds. So it is 3 goals, 7-25 to Geelong, 2-6-18. It's a 7-point lead to the Tigers. And we've played 28 minutes into the second quarter. That's with thanks to Newcombe Sand and Soil. And kicked out now, wide out onto the wing. That's a really long kick. Fort in good position. Can't hold the mark. He's been quiet today, Fort. Hasn't done much. Brewer gets it, kicks it around the body. And coming into to take the mark. No, spilled over the back. I thought the Tigers player there was going to get the mark. Might have been Street. Comes out to Parsons, and Parsons finds the very tall Smith, who couldn't mark it. He had a 3-on-1 and good pressure by Bolton, I think it was, out there. And it could have been Turner, in fact. And the ball finds its way out of bounds.
Yeah, once again.
Inside, and Geelong might be well best to try and change it up. It's a side way. Was clearing